Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Time. I'm Sean. Alright guys, so in the Marvel world, a very important character is Captain America. The guy who plays Captain America is Chris Evans. We have the Captain America movie, The Winter Soldier, coming out April 4th. There was some news that dropped about about the Captain America character this past week though, and it was involving Chris Evans. He made some statements in an interview that sounded like he said he's taking a break right after Avengers 2 from acting, and he only wants to do some directing from now on. This caused a big commotion, but he did state, straighten it all out, and he stated that he's contracted for 6 films. He really enjoys the Marvel films. They do a great job making their movies, and he's going to stick with it through that contract. After that contract's up, though, he does want to step behind the camera and look for directing opportunities that way. He said that he directed last year and he loved it and he wants to continue doing that. Whew! So that's good news, because I don't know what they would have been able to do with the Captain America character if Chris Evans wasn't there. So thank God that he's not going to be leaving the universe until his contract's done. That way they can, if he does leave, they can write something in there and play it as a meaningful exit, not just oh, his contract's done and now he's done. Continuing with the Captain America thread, it was also said that Captain America 3 has already been announced. They haven't signed on the directors, Joe and Anthony Russo, but they're working on it, and the directors are also working on a plot, like outline script. So it's in the works right now, and there is some hesitancy and not entirely like revealing what release date it would be, where, if in Phase 3 it would be, but the Hollywood Reporter has leaked that it will be releasing on May 6, 2016 against Batman and Superman movie, the Superman-Batman movie, Man of Steel sequel. So this is a big announcement if it's true. Can you just imagine a Batman-Superman with Wonder Woman as well going against Captain America? The word on the street about Captain America 2 is that it's an amazing movie. So let's take that up a notch and let's say if the third one gets to the point where it's even better. Just imagine that movie going against this movie. Who's going to budge? Is anybody going to move their date? Is Marvel going to be able to stand up against Batman and Superman, or are they going to have to take a bow? What would happen with this? I don't know, but it would be a great weekend of movies in 2016 if this were to be the case. Alright guys, a couple weeks ago I spoke about The Last of Us and the movie rights being picked up by Screen Gems, how they're going to be making The Last of Us into a live-action movie. Again, Last of Us, great game. I do see this being able to happen, and the way I was speaking about it before, I was right on. The way I was talking about it, the way in my head, I was seeing it as an adaptation of the game, bringing those moments to life. And they announced, Neil Druckmann announced that it is going to be an adaptation of the game. So this is really cool. It is a story that we've seen for those of you guys that have played the game, but that's alright because it is a great story. It has some great moments in it, and I think this is a really good starting point for the series if it's going to be going into a movie, if they want to make it into a franchise, or if they just want to do a one-off. I do think it can definitely be more than one game and more than one movie. They just might have to visit different people after the first movie or the first game. But it is definitely a possibility, and I am looking forward to every bit of it because it would be nice to see the emotion, the acting, the story being portrayed through real live people. That would be really satisfying for me. And some big news coming out of South by Southwest this past week. Godzilla had a clip being shown at the South by Southwest, and in this clip, it was announced, I guess you could say, that there will be 2 monsters that Godzilla's fighting. Jaw drop, everything. Really awesome news. I can't wait to see the movie. The second trailer is really bringing it on everybody's radar compared to the first trailer, but it looks like it's going to be a really good movie, and this makes me very happy. I'd much rather see Godzilla fighting other monsters out of maybe even if it's a territorial type of thing, instead of being if it's something like him just fighting 2 monsters. That would be awesome. It would just be awesome. It would be your traditional monsters. Maybe it's rodent. Maybe it's Mothra. I have no clue. All I know is in the trailer that you do see some things falling out of the sky, and then you see something go like a swan dive right into the water, and it's in a very particular form. Not just like something's falling, and it's more than twice, 3, 4 times the size of the jet fighters. So really good, exciting news coming out of South by Southwest. Alright guys, so there was a trailer this week that really caught my attention. I'm not a big fan of biopics, but this trailer actually made me really interested in this movie. It's the Get On Up trailer. It's the life story of James Brown. It is going to be starring Chadwick Boseman. You guys remember him? I did a movie of the week 42 back a long time ago. He's going to be starring this one. Another guy that's taken up a lot of screen time in the trailer is Nelson Ellis. You guys remember him from True Blood, and Viola Davis. She's going to be playing in this one of the starring roles as well. This trailer really got me interested in it. It doesn't look like it's going to be just a boring retelling of a book of biography of his life. It looks like there's going to be some excitement to it. The music is great. I love it. It gets up, gets you up and going. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one. And this will be a first for me, considering it is a biopic, or a biopic, I should say. So it is a first for me, being really excited about these kinds of movies. Alright guys, so in theaters this week you have 3 movies that are getting a lot of attention. In my mind, I'm really excited about this weekend. You have Need for Speed, starring Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. This one looks great. I think I'm actually going to go see this one tonight because it looks really interesting. I like fast cars. The second movie is the Kickstarter-funded Veronica Mars, starring Kristen Bell, and I haven't watched the series, so I don't know much about the Veronica Mars storyline, plot, series as a whole. So there's that one, and I just like the fact that Kickstarter, something from Kickstarter like this, of this magnitude, has actually made it to the big screen. They made, I think, $270,000 off of like 17 private fan screenings just yesterday. So that's good news for them. Hopefully they can get everything that their Kickstarter supporters paid for and supported them with. Hopefully they can give back to them for making this happen. And the third movie that I'm really excited about is Bad Words, starring Jason Bateman. This is also his directorial debut. This started off as a little indie project, and I want to say that he and his production company were the ones that first started funding it, and then it got bought, and now it's able to be produced in a wide screening. So I'm really happy about that. I'm glad that he went with a hard R rating in it. He's hanging out with the kids in this movie, so you wonder, like, are they going to tone it down? They could have easily gone for PG-13 with maybe 1 or 2 curse words, but if you watch the Red Band trailer of this, it looks awesome, looks funny, and it looks like he doesn't hold back, and I want to see that out of Jason Bateman because I like seeing him play these different characters instead of that same one character that he plays in probably 75% of his movies. So I'm really looking forward to these 3 movies, mostly Need for Speed and Bad Words. So check those out this weekend, guys, and let me know what you think. Alright guys, movie of the week this week was, again, a movie that was referred to me by a friend, The Family. The movie is based on a former mafia mob member, and he rats on his mafia mob family. He does this to get out of the game. He misses the game, but he needed to get out, and they gave him an out by ratting, and now he's in witness protection. So that's to set the scene for the whole movie. That's, I guess, what the background is. So with this movie, there are some pretty good actors in it. You got Michelle Pfeiffer, Robert De Niro. You have the little boy. I forgot. I've seen him before, but I don't know his name quite yet. And then you have Diana Agron. Oh man, from Glee. She does a really good job in this movie. But anyway. Going down the list of people, you got those 4. You got Tommy Lee Jones. You have some other characters in the movie that I've seen in other movies before. It's a pretty well-rounded cast. I like the casting in this movie. The movie starts off, you don't know if this is going to be some Goodfellas, Godfather, serious type mob movie, or if it's going to be comedy, because right out the gates, there are some serious tones to it, but at the same time, there is some lighthearted lines and jokes and things of that nature. the acting surrounding this lighthearted mob feeling, it's really well done. Robert De Niro does a real good job. He doesn't mail this one in, and I really appreciate when he doesn't mail it in, because he's been known to do that over the last 5 to 10 years. The fact that he's portrayed some different sides, that he doesn't just keep going with that one smirk that he had in like all three, Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, and all that. He doesn't have that one monotone facial expression. In this one, he has some expression. He has some good lines in there, and he learns how to use a curse word in thousands of different ways to express every emotion on the the scale of emotions. So I really feel like he does a pretty good job, especially with how he speaks in the film. He does. Because he's a mobster, he does this thing where he's able to use his words, change his tone of voice to either be persuasive or forceful, and then when that fails, he just grabs a bat. So I feel like he did a really good job. I liked seeing Michelle Pfeiffer in this movie. It was almost to me like a bounce back role from her, because I haven't seen her in quite a while. I felt that she did a good job. I felt that there were some scenes in there where they did get a little bit more dramatic than the comedy, the lighter side of it, that she was the anchor of this film, where when things were happening, you looked at her and her emotion was telling that, like, this is a real thing happening. So I really liked her acting in this film. Diana Agron did a good job in this one, separating herself from Glee and her character on Glee. Though she did do some things that she did in Glee, if you watch the show. So that's really good. Tommy Lee Jones had a nice little quick-wit, dry, spit of like what every line he said. It was really quick, really dry, and almost like, this guy's gonna screw this up again for me. And it was like almost like a Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon kind of thing, like where Danny Glover goes, "I'm too old for this" every single time. It's almost like that for Tommy Lee Jones. He did a real good job playing that character. All the characters in this movie, it was pretty well acted. I really enjoyed that. Nothing took me out of it. No cues, no facial expressions, no acting. Nothing regarding acting took me out of this movie at all. I really liked the story. It was pretty straightforward. A guy rats on his mob family and is sent into witness protection. So again, straightforward. It's not hiding anything. The biggest thing that the story, the plot, the dialogue does is it shows you the family is, although it is a mob family, mafia family, they are still family. They fight. They still say they love each other. They have each other's back. And I really like that about the story. It took something that could have, just fallen off the deep end and gave it some life, but at the same time, it was funny and it had its dramatic moments. I really enjoyed it. I definitely liked the story as a whole. The dialogue was witty. It had some, like I said, De Niro talking in different tones or with different facial expressions to mean different things and ask different things. I really liked that. Michelle Pfeiffer doing her thing. All the dialogue between the kids and the adults, it was pretty well-rounded, and nothing really stood out as a flaw in the dialogue or the story. So there is some action at the end, and I really liked the action. It was enjoyable because it was, in my mind, it seemed realistic, but it seemed realistic enough that you didn't have anybody going over the top, killing a million people. Like, it wasn't some Call of Duty put on the big screen. It was like, seemed very realistic. The little kid shoots a shotgun and he is literally thrown backwards. Like, that would more than likely happen in real life, especially for a kid that's never fired a shotgun. So I really liked the action sequences, pretty legitimate, and I really enjoyed it. Overall, this film was funny. It had good acting in it. It had a really good base story, and it had a nice little action at the end to top it all off. So I really enjoyed the movie, and I definitely think you guys should go out there and give it a rent at least. This is a really good movie. Do not watch it with the kids, of course. There are a lot of expletives in the movie, but it is a really good movie. I could definitely see myself watching it with a date, or just watching it on another night where I have a couple hours to myself. It seems like Robert De Niro is, picking it back up. I want to see Michelle Pfeiffer in more stuff, and I want to see Diana Agron spread her wings, I guess you could say, and get away from her Glee character and do more roles like this. Be a little edgier, show that she can be the innocent girl as well as the the edgy girl. I definitely like the whole thing, and definitely you guys should go see this one. Alright guys, that's it for Movie Time this week. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, inquiries, and suggestions for Movie of the Week in the comments section. And let's have a great conversation this week. We'll see you next time.